If you've been someone that has been following me for a while and you have been watching my YouTube video, you've heard me talk about making money from blogging, you heard me talk about my blog, you've heard me talk about affiliate marketing, you've heard me talk about AdSense, all this. And you've been wondering, this guy has not shared his story about his blogging journey. Yeah, so today I'm talking about how I made $3,200 from blogging. Nigerian, is it visible to make $3,200 from blogging? I'll tell you, yes, it is. In fact, I'm going to tell you that I have seen and heard from other bloggers that has made much more money. Yeah, and I think the kind of content you create determines this kind of money. So in this story, I will be sharing with us how I made that money, and also I'll be sharing with us the mistakes I made. So hopefully, if you want to go into blogging, you can be able to watch out for these mistakes. All right. So I'm somebody that is always inquisitive on every topic that I find. Even till today, I don't think there's any topic you will bring up that I won't be able to contribute my 2 kobo. And that is because I wouldn't call myself an encyclopedia of knowledge, but I seek knowledge. That's something about me. So those years, I felt that I'm digesting this information. How am I sharing this information? I go to church, but I'm not that active. In fact, that's why this channel is doing well. I'm a very shy person. I hardly face the camera. I know you've seen some of the videos where I face the camera and teach you guys on business and finance and the likes. Started doing some findings. What could I possibly do to help other people that are seeking this knowledge? There were 2 platforms that were popular at that time, or 2 ways that were popular. One was blogging, the other was YouTube vlogging. I wasn't cool with YouTube because as at then in Nigeria, YouTube was not common. Yeah. So even as at then, if you open YouTube, you only see content from the United States, Canada, UK, and other countries. You hardly see content from Africa, and that's because we were basically consuming content from these platforms, but we were not putting content there. But however, blogging was common. Yeah, once you Google an information, you discover that there are thousands and thousands of articles related to that information. So as at that time, I discovered Blogger. Yeah, for those of you that have heard about Blogger, I started my blog on Blogger, created a Blogger account. I can't even remember. I can't remember the domain I used. I think it was agidigbamen.blogspot.com. That was the domain. I want funny name. I don't even know how I arrived at that name. So I started by sharing content as relating to men, some things men pass through, some addiction and the likes, because I was so passionate about guys, especially then, making money, being a child or a son that lost his father at the age of 3. And also I had my mom then, God rest her soul. So I just felt there was even an article that I wrote specifically that brought me into limelight. Yes, I've been writing so many articles, but that article brought me into limelight. And that article, I was talking about addiction to masturbation. That was what I was talking about in that article. And the article was, I shared it as much as I could on WhatsApp. But I discovered something. I woke up, I think 2 or 3 days later, looked at my dashboard, my Blogger dashboard, and I discovered that very article was bringing me traffic from Google, recognizing you as a blogger. Yeah, now it's faster now. In those years, it takes time because Google wants to be sure that this person is really creating good content. So I was surprised. How come That means I did something correctly. So I started looking at the article, started paying attention to some of the things I got right. And lo and behold, I wrote another article, which is how to start boxers business in Nigeria. And that article also got me traffic. The article started ranking, got me huge sum of traffic. I started getting almost 200 traffic per day. This is somebody that was having just, on a good day, 20 traffic. And that traffic is mostly from people I shared my article with. So as time went by, I got the tricks, even without, learning about blogging. And my article began to do well. So I said, it's time I make it. But somehow I wasn't just interested in monetization. I have seen people monetize their blogs. At that time, we had blogs like Ogbunge blog. We had Naira Land that was teaching us, how to monetize blogs. But I wasn't just interested. I just loved creating content. I wasn't interested in the monetization aspect for a very long time. And I remembered also, it was Tuham that was encouraging me that he thinks it is high time I apply for AdSense. That I never can say I might apply and they might, I applied for Google AdSense and Google AdSense accepted. It took me almost 6 or 8 months to make my first $100. Yeah, but because I was someone that was naturally behind the passion and not the money, I kept going. Felt it's time I moved from Blogger or Blogspot to WordPress. It was when I moved to WordPress that I started making good money from blogging. As I was blogging, I had my 9 to 5, get home around 7 or 8 p.m. And as I'm taking my dinner, I am also blogging. I will update content. I would write content. In fact, I remember vividly then I used to write about 80% of my articles. The one I wrote myself, I wrote them in traffic. Yeah, using my phone. Remember then my mom would tell me, is your laptop running away? What you are doing, is it running away? Eat your food first. As time went by, my revenue increased because my traffic increased. To my amazement, I realized that, wow, so one can really make this kind of money from blogging. And lo and behold, I made a decision. I was going to stop my 9 to 5 and focus on this. After all, if this work or if this job can be providing me this kind of money, and meanwhile, when I was doing my 9 to 5, I was earning around 65,000 to 100,000 naira, and I felt this wasn't good enough. If you're making a minimum of $200 to $300 per month, why should I go to one employer and be telling him or her yes sir, yes sir? So I stopped. My mom was scared, my fiance was scared. How are we going to feed? How are you going to spend money? How are you going to move around? What are the things that needs to be done before you can say you don't want to be doing 9 to 5 again? I told them, I said I've made my decision. And that year was the best year so far. I made about $2,000, while the 1,000 I made initially, I made that, during 2021 and 2020. It's been a good journey so far. What are the mistakes I made? Number one, I focused on Nigeria's traffic. Yeah, my keywords were nice because I wrote about finance and business, but because Nigeria is not developed to the extent that its consumers, are willing to pay money for adverts, my CPM and my CPC was low. If you don't know the meaning of this, if you want me to talk about Google AdSense and blogging, how you can start blogging, just write in the comment, teach me about blogging. I'm going to explain all this, but because of time, I'm just going to, scratch the surface. So I would advise you, if you want to go into blogging, make sure your blog is reaching to the traffic in the world. Focus on countries like UK, Canada, USA, the least of all, South Africa. My number 2 was that I didn't hire writers on time. Yeah, I felt no one could do justice to my articles like me. Yeah, so because of that, even when I could afford to hire writers, I refused to hire writers. I wrote by myself. And what did this do? Because I'm unable to post more articles, my traffic didn't increase like I wanted it to, and my revenue didn't increase too. So yeah, although my later came to limelight because I had some writers that were using artificial intelligence to write for me. I had some writers that were copying from other sites word for word. So those fears later came, but I just feel that, if I had done that earlier, probably my revenue will have increased. Even after recognizing those mistakes, I will still make that kind of money. My third mistake was relying on it as my only source of income for a long time. Instead of creating another blog on time, I did not. What I did was to stick to that blog and stay with it. Also, my YouTube channel was doing well, but I couldn't do two things at the same time, so I stopped. Although I will publish 1 or 2 videos once in a while on my YouTube channel, but my main focus was still my blog. So those were the 3 mistakes I made. If you're planning to go into blogging, these are the things you should avoid. So I think that's all. And I think my time is up in blogging. I want to move to other ways of making money online, but you never can say. Tomorrow I might change my mind. I'll see you guys and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Ciao.